In the time after King Arthur. War plans. Bonfires blazed the message across Cornwall's hills to the meadows, where riders took it from town to town, and at last to the king. As the messenger entered the king's glade with haste, Perceval already sensed what the bad tidings would be. He gave the young wayfarer a last embrace. As the wayfarer left in one direction, war approached via the other. Percival was not unprepared.
This he told to me. All those times you saw me seemingly walking without a care, well, I had cares and I made plans. That time you thought me sick for 2 weeks, that was when I went to Ireland dressed as a peasant to enlist the aid of my old friend Rory Moore. Yes, I knew that he had no love for Camelot, but I knew that he had even less for Vikings and some for me as a fellow Irishman. We have rebuilt Camelot, by the way, for our final stand. The war scheme is all planned out in such a way as to save as many lives as possible. What also helps me is Merlin's blessing, or perhaps it is a curse, that is to wit, I feel the deaths of all Britons, but I also feel their joys.
The leader in that sector, Cordicus, had ultimate authority for the first few days of the invasion. Cordicus was in the right spot, placed there by the king along the most likely invasion route. Indeed, this time the Vikings had stayed well away from the Severn and its river bore. Cordicus, half Roman, half Celtic, was the leader of the Marshmen. But both Perceval and his regional field leader, Cordicus, knew immediately that this was not an invasion that could be met head-on. The immediate plan was as follows: evacuate the coastal towns through the marshlands at a right angle to the direction of the main road, and burn the towns to deny their products and shelter to the invaders.
Percival remembered his words to this effect to the young knights just before they left. This will be the hardest duty you will ever perform, to enforce a retreat, to rout people from their homes and herd them out of their beloved towns, to burn the towns behind you so that the Vikings may not gain sustenance. You must resettle the people in the deserted Saxon towns of the interior, then draw the Vikings into our very heartland and offer no immediate resistance. The price of burning is always dear, but homes and farms can be replaced, lives cannot.
This would be a good time for Jalan to retake Scandia, thought Perceval. But could he possibly make it there before the waters froze? Or would he meet the flows of a cold, icy death during a treacherous voyage through the ice fields? Let's hope for a warm northern winter, thought Perceval, and hope that Gilane's mighty ships are already asail in the misty seas. The heathen Vikings left half their armies at the shore to guard the boats and to make a base camp. The other half, still much more than a match for Perceval's combined forces, made 10 miles the very first day, stopping only because the baggage trains could not keep up the pace. Those residents too infirm to flee were butchered by the invaders. Others who would not leave their homes died bloody deaths. The Vikings were as barbaric and violent as the legends had warned. Retreat orders were issued again and again by the regional commander as planned. Many requests for relief came in, but the orders were firm. The men cannot be freed from the harvesting tasks, or Britain would soon starve. Many men had been lost in the Saxon wars, and Percival was not about to lose the remainder and the crops as well. Many men received a summons from the king to sit at the round table that night, since the king was to explain the latest amendments to the battle plan. Gawain had come out of retirement, as had many others. When all had been seated, the king began,
Too many battles, too many wounds, too many dead.
"The full speech has long been lost, but we do know that someone's secret existence and his special mission was not revealed.